Welcome back from the break. We're talking about mental health, your state of mind, and Dr. Oneza Niaz stays with us for more. You were saying, Oneza, go ahead.
I was saying quality of life is a concept which is now used about health, especially mental health. Now, mental health doesn't mean absence of illnesses or psychiatric disorders, but it also means how you're, and there the word full life, full creative, you lead a full life, a creative life. You see, you're not born just to eat and to work and to pray. You're also supposed to enjoy. Yeah. And this is not anti any religion. Every religion says that you should be grateful to God's, whatever God has provided you, yes, and gracious and enjoy to the best of, as best as possible,
yes,
etc., etc.
To the fullest.
So that is what, to the fullest.
To the fullest.
So we should enjoy life to the fullest. And how many of us in this world today are enjoying life to the fullest? And that's where the concept of mental health comes. And this is the most important aspect in which I think all doctors should know about it. You see, there are about 20% of patients who come to primary health care physicians, that means the general practitioners, who have either anxiety, depression, or somatic disorders. Now, by somatic disorders, I mean aches and pains, vague, symptoms which are not unexplained physical symptoms. Now, these are all signs symptoms which affect the quality of life. So, if you're constantly having a backache or a headache or shoulder ache because of stress, or stomach upsets, indigestion, acidity, which is one of the commonest things in the modern world. I mean, every second person is suffering from it. So 20% of people actually are suffering in community. So it's a very high percentage.
It is a high percentage
people
of people
not having a proper mental health.
Not having optimal mental health.
I think that's the word.
They'll have mental health, but they may not necessarily have optimum mental health.
Yes.
As you rightly said, there's one thing. You said that 80% of women's mental health well-being in Pakistan depends on the relationship with their in-laws, primarily the mother-in-law. The mother-in-law...
I'm talking of married women.
I know that. Yeah. And they seem to suffer the most in some ways. Because in our culture, they're married off at such young ages. 13, 14, 15, 16.
It applies in most of our Muslim culture, Oriental, Asian culture.
Across this belt.
Across this belt.
Across this global belt.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. Let's accept that as a given. A mother-in-law is a female. You are a female, I am a female, right? Either you are a mother-in-law, or someday I hope to be a mother-in-law at the right time and right phase in my life. Why would I wish upon my daughter-in-law all those negative things I suffered myself? Why are we unable to, as women, to get out of this rut and rise above it? We cause unto others what we do not want done to us. We turn this on its head. We turn this commandment on its head. Why do we do this? Why are we our worst critics? Why are we our worst judges? And we do this over and over again. And I speak only for Pakistan, but I see it at every single socio-economic level. Yes. The criticism is unbelievable, and support is limited.
I think it's become a national trait.
Why?
It's become a national trait because I think of several reasons. I think economic reasons, number one. Number two, most of these women, the women problems, is that they're housewives. Life has changed over the years. I mean, there's not much work to do. They're always gossiping. You see, they don't have anything constructive to do. I think this in-law problem, I think in so many ways, has become more in the last 30 years, I would say. In the olden days, at least, the extended family was there, and at least some other people were there also. Now
to diffuse it, maybe.
So it diffused a little. Yeah. You see, and
the move from the extended family to the nuclear family.
And now nuclear family is not simply nuclear. They do have a mother-in-law or a father-in-law there also. You see?
So the situation is exacerbated because you have a smaller space, physical space, because homes are now smaller.
And there are no activities for these elderly people. You see, the elderly people, another thing which I must mention is that in this fact sheet of WHO, elderly people, especially women, have a high rate of depression and dementia. In most elderly people, this is a commonest condition. So if they are depressed and they are having organic dementia, which is like because of high blood pressure, there's small bleeds in the head, which causes memory problems like Alzheimer's disease, or, etc., etc. So because of that also, these elderly people, they become finicky, difficult, etc., etc. And then it is a traditional thing, they do not, mother-in-laws, a woman who is the head of the family suddenly has a young daughter-in-law who comes over and takes over her domain. You see, takes over the seat and controls the whole household. So I think those are those are the factors. Two, most of them are not that highly educated. They do not have a vocation or an activity or creative activity or involvement in the community. That is another reason. And I think that is one reason why abroad it is not so common. First of all, people do not live with them. Then the mother-in-laws or the mothers, the age is not important for enjoying life. They all go out.
It's a non-issue. It's a non-issue.
You know, if they're widowed very young, they remarry. They have boyfriends.
No, they have a full
clubs,
life. Yeah,
they go out. They have, you know. So that is something which in our culture I think will develop over the years.
Stay with us. We have to go to break now. After the break, we'll be back. We're talking about women and mental health.
Because they're feeling weak. So it's an emotional blackmail. They will sort of say this, well, look, I'm an old woman, it was my house, it's my son, and now here this new girl comes and she doesn't know anything, and why can't I be the head of the family? And if she sort of runs the house, she cooks things in her own way.
I'm not talking about the violence against women. That is a separate thing which you wanted to touch on anyway.
Yeah. I find that the educated young housewives, the working mothers, working women, they have a better relationship with their mother-in-laws.
I'm going to make a very, very judgmental statement now, and this is because I want to see whether you agree or disagree.
Mostly the problems are generally the same as women, except that women have 2 times more of depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, etc., etc. Men, because they do not use emotions, they are not expressive, they will not talk of depression and anxiety. But they have to get rid of their stressor, they have to get rid of their conflicts. So what they do, they get on to substance abuse. Alcohol is the greatest.
So you think that that's a bigger...
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay.
And they get into alcohol abuse, like driving fast, having more. If they get upset, they will have more accidents.
Yeah.
Also, they may even have more affairs.